Hi guys, Doyle Dykes here, and welcome to my Guitar Pour series on the Chet Medley #2 that I played Saturday night at the Grand Ole Opry, and that was July the 24th, 2021. Eddie Bayers played drums, Larry Paxton played bass, so I had sent them a video to show, just to run through the songs. I did a tutorial after that, but they didn't even look at it. He said it was us all playing to us. Those guys are such great musicians. But I thought about, while I'm doing this, I may as well put this on our YouTube channel. Speaking of that, if you will, little shameless self-promotion here, but if you will, give us a good like and also subscribe to our YouTube channel and tell your friends about it, because these lessons are free. I mean, people told me all during the pandemic, you need to charge and you can make money on lessons and do all this kind of stuff. Well, the good Lord's taking care of us, but I started giving these free lessons. I actually got the idea, I think, from James Taylor. If you go to his site, you can see, he'll show you how he does his songs. And I'm not a professed teacher by any means, but I can show you how I do certain things. And so I wanted to go over the medley. It started off with "Oh by Jingo, Oh by G." And so I went over that on the last video. It's funny, we got so many comments from the video I sent to the guys to learn these tunes, because I just put them together for the show. Everything had to be timed out, and it's hard to sometimes get it all together. But people commented back on, what guitar were you using? And someone thought, where's the Gretsch? Because Chet was well, I have one right in front of me. I have an old 60s Chet Atkins model, and these were great guitars. I mean, they really were. But Chet also had, this is one that was Harvey's, that I used on another video just recently at Harvey's Barbershop when I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I really always wanted an L5 Gibson. And of course, Chet gave me one of his guitars here before he passed away. He actually gave it to me 30 years ago. And if you look inside, it says a Gibson, a Chet Atkins model. And so this was one that he played and he used. It was one of his personal guitars. And so he played Gibson until he died. And then the family, I think, brought it back to Gretsch because he was with Gretsch for a long time. He played like a thinner, laminated top L5 size guitar, and that's what he played. I took one of my L5s into him one day, and he played it a little bit, and he always loved these guitars. But his was a little bit thinner, and it had a solid block down the middle like a 335. I mean, my favorite sound for him was when he was just all hollow body. And that's why I used his Gretsch Country Gentleman. I mean, that was such a great sound that Chet had. Now, I'm not opposed to a 335. I mean, here I am a number of years ago playing a 335. And anyway, they're wonderful guitars for finger picking. I've had 345 guitars. I've had so many of them. But I used to, I mean, my first good guitar was actually a Gibson, and if you don't mind, I'll show you some of the photos. Now here I am playing my this was a J45, and that's my brother on piano, and that was my first good guitar. And then I got a Guild Starfire because I had a Fender Jaguar as my first electric. And then I thought, well, finger pickers like Chet like hollow body guitars. And so I started praying that I would be able to get a hollow body guitar, and I got the Guild Starfire. And then Dad brought this home, or I did, and this is the original catalog that I used to look at. I was talking to some Gibson folks recently and told them that I still have my catalog, and Anyway, this is what this was my dream page right here, the middle one, the L5. And I prayed every day that I would get that guitar. And when I was 17, I was walking at 8th and Main Street, Jacksonville, Florida, and and it was like the angels were singing. I looked in the window, and here's this Florentine cut, just exactly like the one in the catalog, and that was my guitar. Now that's me standing there behind Scotty Moore. Scotty was playing my guitar one day, and years ago I sold that guitar. And my wife said, well, you need to, when we first met, she said, you played an L5, you need to have another L5. And the only money she ever inherited from her grandmother's side of the family, and so her mother's side of the family, she bought me this guitar. I actually sold it and bought her some jewelry that she had always wanted, and unbeknown to her. And then later on, I got the guitar back. It wasn't hawked. I had a friend that got it and bought it, and I ended up getting it back. And so that was a number of years ago. This is about an '03, and it's a wonderful guitar. But people were asking from the former video, what guitar were you using? Why were you using a Gibson? Well, it was all Gibson night, I guess, at the Opry that night. And these really resonate well. It has a carved top, and it's still one of my favorite guitars, and I'm going to be playing it more. And so here's that first song. Key of A, and the original song is, but I didn't have time to play that whole song by Jingo, and I wanted to add other songs, so I made a medley. So I used that as a transition to another key. So now I'm in A. Now sometimes Chet would hit that, and sometimes he would do. So he would change it around. So I felt, well, may as well do what I want to do. So you're open A and E. Slide like an F all the way up to your 5th fret. A. Use that open string. Now this is an F7. F7 with a C in a bass is the easiest way to say it. Like if you ran a C7. So it becomes a 9th there. And then down to a 7th. That bar. B. So it's like that would be your chorus, and it's like a major 7. And I do this little slide that I got from a guy years ago named Lonnie Portwood. from Jacksonville, Florida. And I think he played great guitar too, but I think he was also a great steel player. And I think he liked to, it's almost like a bending. But I stole that from him, Lonnie. It's, oh. So here it is. And that's the form of an A7. And then it goes down to an augmented. And with my little finger, I'm just alternating that bass. Now this is an F7 with a B in the bass. It sounds like it should be, but Chet did it like this on one of his videos. I just happened to catch him doing it when he was playing with Jerry Reed in New York. It's an F sharp 7, like if you ran a C7 there, all the way up to there. So, and that's a B7, but I use my thumb, and then a bar. Sometimes just to make it more interesting. Notice how he bounces off that E, open E. And that would actually, if you were to explain it with an E in the bass, if you were actually having a B flat here and then a C sharp here. Let's see. Straight bar. And then it goes to the next song. Well, I hope you're getting something out of this. It's a lot of fun to do this. So once again, thanks for subscribing to our channel. Give us a good like. And don't forget to use GHS strings. God bless y'all. Thank you.